Hello everybody, I'm Lucy Keating. I'm the Arts, Humanities and Law Liaison Librarian at Newcastle University. This is my second attempt to deliver this talk, as I had all sorts of technical problems earlier, which I won't go into, but I hope it's second time lucky. And apologies to everyone who attended today for the fact that I wasn't able to give the talk. So essentially, I'm going to talk about the presentational tool Sway, give you the what's, whys, hows, and what we've been doing with it at Newcastle University. That's just a picture of me there enjoying the Tyneside summer and very much missing one of my favourite activities, which is running parkrun, and I was really looking forward to trying out the Harrogate parkrun this weekend, but maybe next time. As we have a legal audience here, I thought I'd better begin with some disclaimers. So first of all, I'm not going to try anything very ambitious with this talk, such as trying to edit my Sway live or show you video content, because I just don't think my Zoom and laptop is up to it. But you can you'll be able to look at the Sway yourself, so you can try it out properly, hopefully in your own time. Also, the Sway that I'm using for this presentation isn't actually the best example of Sway, because I've basically used it to gather together a hodgepodge of different types of content from Sways that I've created, so it doesn't necessarily seem very coherent, but I hope you can understand the purpose of this particular Sway. I realise there'll be very different levels of experience of Sway. Some people will be using it already, others never have heard of it, so I'll try and cater for everybody in the short time allotted. So first of all, what is Sway? Well, you're looking at a Sway on the screen. It's a presentational tool. It comes as part of Office 365, or you can sign up to it free. You just need to also sign up for a Microsoft account. And how do you use it? Well, it's based on a kind of storyline principle. So you gradually build up your Sway, which, as you can see, is like a web page, really. You just add boxes of content sequentially, and you can move them about. Sway refers to the boxes as cards. If any of you are familiar with LibGuides, it's not entirely a dissimilar concept to the way that you put content in boxes there. So you can use different types of content, whether it's text, audio, visual, videos, images, etc., documents, or something interactive such as a form. And you have some flexibility in the way that the content appears and how you lay it out. You can increase the emphasis of some of the boxes. Basically, you just build up your Sway in edit mode and add the boxes and the content, and then you switch to play to see how it will look and try different things out. So just some examples here from our library newsletters. This is a video which we embedded. It's from our special collections team. As I said, I'm not going to try and play it, but you should be able to play it when you view this Sway. Here's an example of combining text and an image. This was for our law school newsletter. We have a law in literature collection, which gains a lot of interest from students and academic staff, and you can see there are links there. This is an example of the rather nice way you can arrange content in Sway. So if you've got a collection of images, you can stack them up like this, a bit like top trumps, which I quite like, and you can add captions as well, so you can see who everybody is. So you can do lots of quite nice things with it. In recent weeks, obviously, Sway has been particularly useful for us because, like all of you, I'm sure, we've had very important and changing messages to get out to our staff and students. So we've been able to use the images from our website and include links to the latest information about changes to our services and resources. So we use Sway a lot for newsletters for our academic departments, but we've also used them for internal reports. So for example, we produce annual reports and action plans for all of the academic departments. So here's just an example of a couple of images taken from our action plan for law. You can, as well as changing the individual components within Sway and moving boxes around, you can also change the overall design. So it's a bit like PowerPoint themes. So you can make it look different, make the fonts different, etc. And you can also view your Sway as a vertical scroll, like we're doing here, or horizontally, or in a slide format. I know somebody asked in the chat earlier today about the difference between Sway and PowerPoint, and it essentially Sway, as you see, is much more similar to a website, and it's really suited for digital format compared to PowerPoint, which is obviously for slideshow and doesn't have to be presented digitally. So some of the advantages of Sway, what we like about it, we've been using it for about 3 or 4 years now. From my point of view, I don't have any sophisticated design skills, so I quite like the fact that I can create quite a nice looking website without having any particular skills. I like the flexibility, the fact that you can combine lots of different types of content and easily embed it from different places. I personally, I rather like this kind of storytelling style, and it's just something a bit different from PowerPoint. I mean, I've nothing against PowerPoint, I use it regularly as well, but it's just a bit of a contrast. You can easily work on a Sway together as part of a team, so you can have lots of people editing it, you can share it, you can copy it. One thing that's nice is you can control access to your Sways as well, so there's share option at the top. So for example, if you just want to limit it to particular people or to an institution, or make it public, or make sure people have to have a password, you can do that. So you have quite a lot of control over it, and you can also embed it, for example, in a virtual learning environment or LibGuides, etc. So it is very versatile. There are built-in analytics, and you should just be able to see, there's an example here on my screen from a recent Sway I created for our School of English. So it gives you some analysis of how many people have looked at it and how closely they've looked at it. And I'd say the Sway newsletters I've been producing, they've been getting in hundreds of hits in general. I think there's one that's gone over 1,000. So I suspect that's higher than the numbers who used to read my sort of PDF newsletters. One thing I particularly like about Sway is that it's easy to update. So if you make a mistake after you've emailed the link out, which I regularly do, it doesn't matter. You can just edit your Sway. You don't need to send another email correcting a link in it. It's got a built-in accessibility view and an accessibility checker, and it's compatible across mobile devices and different operating systems as well. So as I said, we've mainly been using it for internal school newsletters, and we've had a lot of good feedback from people, and the analytics look good as well. We've also used it for more internal documents such as the action plans. Our education outreach team, who work with local primary and secondary schools, they've used it to report on their activities as well. But there are other potential uses as well, some of which we've been exploring, such as staff training. So we have run some staff training sessions using Sway. I think there are plenty of potential uses with teaching. I know I received an email just this week from a lecturer who had created a Sway to help prepare his students for dissertation. And one very nice thing about that was that he'd actually just included some content from a library Sway related to our resources and skills training. So that was nice that he was just able to embed it in his own Sway and reinforce the message. But I think you could use it with students as well, and get students editing or working together on a Sway, getting feedback from them as well, because you can embed forms. So it is very versatile. There is a showcase on Sway which might give you some ideas as well as how to use it. But just to finish off with, it's not perfect. There are some limitations, so it might not suit all your requirements. It's not easily exportable. First of all, it really is designed to be viewed online. So I have tried to export it as a Word or PDF document, but it is possible, but it would require quite a lot of editing. There are design constraints as well. I mean, if you are much more of a design whiz than I am, then you will find it limiting, because you can only really do what Sway allows you to do, so you can't lay everything out in the way you might want. There doesn't seem to be an easy way of setting up a content library, as far as I can tell. So if you want to insert an image, such as that lovely one of the River Tyne below, then you have to do it afresh each time you start a new Sway, which seems a little bit clunky. And I wouldn't say there's a great deal of help within Sway. I mean, I've just blundered through it myself. There is some guidance and videos online, but all in all, we've really enjoyed using it, and it's just added, I suppose, another string to our bow in terms of our communication. We're very happy to share thoughts and ideas, and if anybody else has been using Sway, I'd really like to see it. So I hope that's been interesting, and apologies once again for the technical hitches.